Hey, I'm Kaylee. Let's talk about yoga and sustainability and how they can both help us all create a better, more peaceful and perfect world. Because isn't that what we all want at the end of the day? Don't we all want to live happy and live well and thrive together on this planet Earth? I think so. So let's dive into yoga and what it can do to promote sustainability and a more peaceful and perfect world. So yoga is the practice of peace. It literally teaches peace. And yoga can help us all embody a better way of living and being if we are willing to do the yoga. And I'm not talking about yoga on the mat or doing a handstand or learning to balance more perfectly in your body or work out. I'm talking about the true yoga practice, and that's embodying the lifestyle and the principles in your everyday life. And with that, yoga can also teach us how to transform to create a better life and a better self. So yoga is the union. It literally means union, and it teaches us how to unify within ourselves and with others in life to live in a more connected, peaceful way. With yoga, they have certain principles called the yamas and niyamas that literally can teach us how to become more sustainable and loving human individuals. One of the principles is non-harming and cleanliness. And by educating ourselves and our children about these principles, we can adopt a better foundation on how to live well in the world and how to treat ourselves better and also others. So yoga, anyone can do it. And despite many contrary beliefs, it's not a religion. Yoga is for everyone. And it's a way that we can adopt a society and a world to help us understand how to live more perfectly and peaceful together. So what do I mean? Well, of course, there's a physical practice, but that's just one limb of the 8 limbs of yoga. And, we can all study yoga and understand it better and go deeper into the philosophies and how it relates to virtually every religion. And with that, as we utilize yoga, we can learn how to become more peaceful in ourselves. And that's the golden nugget. Because yoga is one form of the practice, and its sister science, Ayurveda, which is also known as the science of life, teaches us how to become balanced to live in a more beautiful way. And it's kind of like the yin and the yang symbol. There's light and there's dark. And as we integrate the different aspects of ourselves, we can unify and become a more whole, loving, and peaceful individual. And see, yoga teaches us many things, but what I find most important is it teaches us how to go within ourselves, to make positive changes, to not only become a better human being and to live in our highest heart light, but it also teaches us very important practices and tools so that we can sustain ourselves better and become more whole and connected in a variety of ways. And there's a huge lesson with yoga because it teaches us to understand that our mind is the projector that's creating our reality and that we have the power to change. And rather than thinking an external source is going to do it for us, it gives us tools and meaning to go within ourselves, to empower ourselves, and to inspire a better life. And see, yoga doesn't divide, it unifies, but it's our human self and our conditioning that does otherwise and thinks otherwise. And so to create a more sustainable world or a more sustainable self, we all need to do the work within ourselves to live in new ways and evolve beyond the past and patterns, and most importantly, to believe and think in new ways and in higher mindsets. So what do I mean? Well, it's no secret that our current world and reality has been built in very unsustainable forms. What we need is to develop a more circular economy and a way that we can all sustain ourselves and thrive. And the yoga teaches us to come back to nature, to understand ourselves and the world, and to know that by becoming the change within ourselves, we automatically create a shift and inspire and change the future versions of reality that are possible. So isn't it empowering to know that you can be the change the world wants to see and you can become it? And just by doing that tiny little shift of reality, you can inspire a future generation and change a whole trajectory of what the world may become. So as humans must work together to become that change and to inspire it and to shift out of the old to create the new. And I'm fascinated by the generational gaps. It's been actually proven that younger generations, millennials and below, care more about the planet and the world and sustainability compared to older generations. And that these new generations have adopted different ways of thinking and believing. And they're more minimalistic. They care less about things older generations did. And the corrupt mindsets like human greed or materialism has been shifted in their psyche to where they live in a whole different way. And they actually will buy from companies that adopt more sustainable values and empower the planet. So that right there is a radical shift in consciousness just to show how powerful our future can be. And if we start now to all begin to develop better ways of living, we can shift the world together and create a better, more peaceful world. But it won't happen unless we become the change and want to change. And my belief is incorporate principles of yoga to really create inner peace and inner harmony and happiness, and to understand what that really means beyond what we've been taught and conditioned. So how to be more sustainable? Well, we have to become mindful and aware. We have to begin to pause and look at the life we're creating, our daily patterns, our daily routines, what we're buying, what we're taking into our senses, what we're eating and digesting, and what we're choosing ultimately, right? And then from there, we can start to make little changes and gain knowledge and become more aware of how we can shift ourselves and our lifestyle for a greater impact and for a better life. What do I mean? Well, to become more sustainable, we have to look at our surroundings and what are we hoarding? What are we buying too much of? And how are we using our energy, including our money, in ways that, may not be so beneficial? And how can we shift ourselves to want to do better, save more food, save more money, save our energy, etc., etc., etc. And what I've seen in my own life is we can care a whole ton about a lot of things: climate change, the planet, people, even personal passions and desires. But nothing really shifts until we start to make the shift within ourselves. And we can learn so much, we can think so much, we can read so many books, and we can pretend to be all these different people. And at the end of the day, it's really more about embodying the truth of who you are and becoming happy, whole, and connected within yourself. And that is why I love yoga, and I know that it's such a powerful practice that every human being on earth can benefit from. And it's not scary because it teaches unification, and it teaches us how to integrate and become balanced, harmonious, and healthy human individuals. So, where do we begin? Well, yoga teaches us that health and happiness are inalienable rights that we all can have and we all can become. Now, of course, we have karmas and things we have to experience in life. We all have a unique soul journey. And that's the beautiful thing about yoga, is that it teaches us how to move through life and shift the mindset and the conditioning to become better people and to see life from a new perspective and an open mindset. And that is so important. Just understanding that can shift your whole world and your future. So, yoga and Ayurveda teach us that the root cause of all issues are within us and the mind. So, to heal the body, we have to look at the mind and be willing to shift the mind. And although drugs and medications can be beneficial, the root of the issue and actually healing at the root level to where the symptom and the disease no longer occurs happens through the mind. So what does that mean? Well, it validates the importance of looking at the mind, becoming mindful and self-aware, and understanding the collective unconscious our own unconscious, and our shadows and patterns and behaviors, and how it all interrelates to create our life, our lifestyle, our beliefs, patterns, and more. And yoga and Ayurveda also teach us that our environment is the driving force and influence of what we become. Again, our environment is the driving influence of what we become. So what does that mean? Well, if you're around shitty and shady and angry people who are upset and bickering and causing drama, how is that going to affect your mental and emotional health? And considering your lifestyle, your house, how you live, is it organized? Is it tidy? Is it clean? What do you keep? What do you hoard? And how does that influence the energy within you? There are so many nuggets we can learn from the tools yoga and Ayurveda teach and present. And there are so many ways we can all transform our own lifestyle and behavior to live in a higher mindset and to feel better within ourselves. And then, of course, with others. Because the true yoga is relationship and learning how to become the change we want to see. And yoga and Ayurveda together teach us that the microcosm affects the macrocosm. So we get to choose. Do we become the change, or do we live in the paradigm of the old? And can we fully step into a place of peace and work every day to become it, and to work through our karmas and our issues to become less dramatic, to change our ways and our perceptions, and to live more soul aligned and heart aligned? Yoga has taught me, with Ayurveda, the importance of healing the emotional body. And I truly believe that to become sustainable, a sustainable person, a sustainable world, a sustainable society, we all have to understand the mind, body, spirit connection, and to look at life through a lens beyond just the physical form. And it's from this place we can learn to bridge the gap. Because the yoga is learning how to get out of the head and into the heart. And the heart of the matter is always love, and remembering love, and also learning how to unlearn things so that we can become more love and more loving in self and more loving with others. And humanity has a wound where we often are not aware of ourselves, our body, and our well-being. And to become better and healthier and happier people, we have to learn to find the connection within ourselves, within our source, within our wellness, and take responsibility for all of it to become the kings and queens to live the life we've always imagined and that we desire. Okay, so I've said a lot. Things to ponder and muse, and maybe even Google and go down your own rabbit holes or read some books, right? But my message is do yoga. And my other message is to become a sustainable, human-loving individual who wants to be a change that the planet and the world need. And let's be real, future generations. We need to have more balance, more ease, more love in the world. And we all deserve that. And we all deserve to know how to become happy and healthy within ourselves. And the system and society and Google may tell you some things, but ultimately it's up to us to have our own journey and human experience to learn how to embody sustainability, to live better and feel better. All right, so I'm going to give you 3 tips to become more sustainable that can help you every single day to have more peace and to be more peaceful and feel more peaceful. Pretty cool? All right. Number 1, your breath. Learn to check in with your breath. The yogis meditate for a reason. It's actually real natural medicine that can heal tons of anxiety, fear, and many mental and emotional patterns. So, step number 1, check in with your breath. I recommend trying meditation, even if it's for a minute, but just closing your eyes and feeling your belly and your breath regularly throughout the day can really do wonders to your mind, body, and spirit. And it can also tame all the mental chatter and all the outside influences that are influencing our nervous system, including electronics, and that may be making us a little manic, so that we can actually become more peaceful. Okay, step number 2 is to be aware. Just taking that in can help you every day be more aware of what you're doing, what you're choosing, and what you're taking in. And then how you're acting, communicating, and treating others. So be aware. That's all you need to start doing. From there, you'll start to slowly shift. Stop that thing, stop doing that, stop saying that, and want to change your ways. And step number 3, believe in your ability to change and believe in the impact you can have. Believe in your ability to change and the impact you can have. We all inspire one another, and it's our environment. And even if you're around maybe a not so healthy or peaceful or loving environment, you can choose to get out of that environment. You can choose to make changes in yourself. You can create a peaceful environment in yourself and develop your own sanity. And, yoga and Ayurveda can teach us all different ways to be more sustainable. And we can learn to be in our body, to breathe, to realize our emotional patterns and what's causing and driving us to reach for the fridge or the TV or be lazy and sit on the couch. And we can look at the ways that we have created and self-sustained for whatever reason we have, and learn to evolve out of those patterns and look at the world and adopt better beliefs. Sustainability begins within us all, and we have to care about the planet and our impact that we're making on people, on the world, and our environment. And I know that if we all take a little bit more time to develop peace in the morning, throughout the day, before we go to bed, to become aware of our habits and, what we've chosen throughout the day and how we've treated others and our own energy, we can really become the change. And then we can become a better version of our past, of our world and our society, and shift into the new by actually being heart-centered and loving individuals. And it happens with the want to change and the action to change. And we can all become sustainable, human-loving, peaceful individuals and work every day to feel more free, to be more peaceful, and to resolve the mental and emotional things and obstacles and blocks that are keeping us out of balance and from feeling truly happy, healthy, and well. All right, so that's what I got today. Please leave your questions and comments, and if you enjoyed this or anything I said, let me know, because it helps inform me and gives me feedback of what I'm putting out there, right? And if you get anything from this video, I invite you to believe in your ability to create peace, and believe in your ability to inspire others, and believe in yourself to become the change that we all need to see, and that the world needs to see and wants to see. And together, step by step, day by day, we can work to unify with one another, to get along, to become non-harming individuals, to create cleaner and more sustainable ways of living, to treat ourselves better and others, and to look at nature and the world and be in the breath and the body and create the balance and sustainability to live happy, well, peaceful, and free. Okay, I'm Kaylee Bliss. Check out my website, subscribe please, and again, send some love and comments to me and just let me know how you enjoyed this video. Thank you all, and cheers and namaste.